What is the Satanic Delco? What's the purpose of it?
Satanic Delco is a congregation of Satanists, and we have members worldwide, all across many parts of the world. And there's also a group of us that live more sort of local in one area. And I guess the purpose of the group is like most religious congregations, it's to provide people with a religious community that they can find value in all the ways that people find value in a religious community or any community that they want to be part of.
So I noticed that the Satanic people are jealous of God. Why is that?
You would have to ask them. I don't feel jealous of God.
But you are jealous of him
How would you know that?
because you are denying that he exists. If you were not jealous of him, you would not deny that he exists, nor would you try to go to schools and things like that and convince children that Satan exists.
I'm not jealous of God. I
How
would
do you
never
know
go
you're
to a
not
school.
jealous of him?
I would never go to a school to tell children that God doesn't exist or that Satan exists. I don't think anyone should do that.
How do you know you're not jealous of him?
I feel no jealousy.
But what does jealousy feel like?
It feels like the feeling of jealousy. It's hard to articulate, but we all know it, right? You know
Yeah.
when you're jealous of someone.
Right.
I've been jealous or envious of things in my life. It never even crossed my mind that God would be one of those things because I don't believe that God is real. And your premise, I believe what you just said is that by denying that he's real, I'm jealous of him. So that stands to reason that I'm jealous of everything that I deny the existence of. I'm not jealous of Santa Claus. I'm not jealous of the headless horseman. I'm not jealous of tons of things that I deny the existence of.
Whether you realize it or not, and I'm not trying to convince you at all, but the Satan that you serve is jealous of God. But you just don't realize it yet, and I do understand that. And I want to ask, your organization has successfully amended several high school dress codes that discriminates against evil worshiper. How did you manage to do that? And why would you why would you change the dress code of those who discriminate against evil?
It might not sound like a big difference, but I do want to point out that these issues with the school districts and the dress codes, those were sort of a personal project of mine. It wasn't really a group effort. It wasn't part of Satanism, I guess, exactly. It was a sort of a pet project of mine. And the reason I did it is that it came to my attention that these school districts, two of them, had dress codes that discriminated against one particular religion.
And that was evil,
Well, it was Satanism.
right, which is evil.
Well, they didn't have a ban on things that were evil. They had a ban specifically on one religion. You could wear or represent other evil things. You could wear a shirt with a knife on it, maybe, but you couldn't wear a shirt that had anything to do with Satanism. And I found that to be wrong because I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment, free speech, free expression, all of that stuff. And so for a public school to discriminate against only one religion, regardless of what religion it is wrong.
And so if you don't believe that evil exists, why was it important to you to go to those schools and make a fuss about it? You didn't believe evil existed. They do. Why did it bother you since you don't believe it even exists?
No one was, not me or the school districts, was discussing evil. Evil was never even mentioned. It was never written or spoken by either side. There was no involvement of evil. Evil is a subjective term. Some people think certain things are evil. Some people think those things are good. In this case, the public schools were allowing the religious expression generally, but they were singling out, one particular religion. And if that religion were Buddhism, it would still be a problem.
But they were not singling it out. They just were not promoting it.
No, it was specifically banned.
But they were not promoting it, though.
They were banning it.
Meaning what?
Meaning you were not allowed to wear anything that expressed Satanism in any way.
Was this a religious school or public school?
Public school.
And so they told the kids don't wear anything that has a symbol of Satan.
Correct.
And who told you that they told the kids that?
It was written in their dress code.
Amazing. And so what good that they do for you to change that rule?
What good did it do for me?
Yes.
I mean, I guess it didn't do me specifically very much good.
So what was the purpose of doing it?
It felt like the right thing to do.
So it felt good. It felt like the right thing.
Yeah.
And so was it the right thing?
I believe so.
And what good came from that?
Now, these public school districts' dress codes are in line with the First Amendment of our Constitution.
And that makes you happy now?
I like it.
Amazing. And so your son, is he a little Satan too?
He's not. My son is completely unaware of religion.
How old is he?
He's 17 and he has autism. And religion, one way or the other, is not a concept that is really on his radar at all.
That's amazing. Do you believe that they should ban the Bible in the schools as well?
Should they ban the Bible in schools?
Should they ban the Bible? Should the Bible be banned in schools?
No.
So why don't you fight to get the Bibles back?
I mean, I think a Bible being available in the library of a public school is fine. I think teaching a religion in public schools is wrong.
And so why don't you fight to get the Bible into the library?
I mean, is it not in the library?
I don't know at this point. I doubt it, but I don't know for sure.
If there's one book that there is no shortage of in the United States, it is the Bible.
Well, I don't know if they're allowed to put them in. Things are so bad in the public schools now, but I don't know if they're allowed to even have them in the library. I have to check on it now that we've discussed it.